welcome back to Table Talk, and as promised, we've got some of our characters from the Tommy Tractor books here. Also here, we have Officer Justin with the City of Sparta, the police department there, is that correct? And Deputy Jake with the White County Sheriff's Office,
Yes,
is that
ma'am.
right?
That's correct.
And our lovely book characters that we've got, which are real, is Kilo and Charlie here, and they are officers and work just as hard as you guys do.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us a little bit, I guess, about how long each of you have been on the department, and then how long Kilo and Charlie have been working.
So I started with the Sheriff's Office almost 5 years ago, and Kilo's been with me pretty much since day one. We come in as training consultants and work together with the unit, and then pretty much got put on from there. And we've been full-time now, certified together 3 years, and pretty much it.
And tell me what exactly Kilo specializes
So
in.
Kilo specializes in criminal apprehension, tracking, narcotics, and evidence recovery. So he's got several different jobs, and he does all of them really well. So.
Okay. And Officer Justin, tell us about your experience and how long you've been working with Charlie.
So I've been a police officer since 2014. Got Charlie when he was 8 weeks old, got him certified at 11 months old. We've been certified for about 2 years now. Charlie does narcotics and tracking. His tracking's a little different than Jake's. I'm able to track felonies, misdemeanors. I'm able to track children along with elderly.
Okay,
For the-
and that's
for
something that
Holiday.
we wanted to talk about a little bit
Off.
with the hug a tree
Off.
part. It's actually Charlie that kind of helps you with that. And
It
when
is.
we tell children or adults or anybody to hug a tree, what are we saying there?
So we started that with Charlie because we are able to track children. And when we go out to the schools and talk to everybody, we let them know and let the kids know that if they're ever lost, it's easier for them to find a tree, stay with the tree, hug a tree is where it comes from. That makes it easier for us to
Mulligan.
locate them. Like if they're not traveling and walking a further distance, as soon as they know they're lost, just stop and stay there, and we'll come and find them.
Right, because Charlie can find you a lot easier if you're stationary and not
Yes.
zigzagging all over the place. And I guess that goes, as we said before, for we could make that impression on elderly, anybody that's out hiking,
Yes.
hunting, all of that applies, I guess, to
Everything
any
applies to it,
situation. Yeah, just to hug that tree and wait for somebody, Charlie or somebody like Charlie, to come find
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
So tell us what a typical day is like, or a busy day for Kilo and Charlie.
So a busy day for Kilo could be anything from traffic stops. We specialize, like I said, in narcotics. So if we've got numerous traffic stops going on where we think illegal contraband may be in the vehicle, we can be doing those searches. So it could be tracking for a murder suspect, 5 minutes later. Thankfully, we don't have as much of those as
Hey, we're
you would-
working with live animals.
We are.
We do the best we can.
Thankfully, we don't have those tracks come up very often. But with that being said, they do come up, and we do have to handle them as they come.
Yeah.
And thankfully, using his nose, we can usually locate anybody that takes off on foot on us. So.
Okay. And what Charlie's been calm as a cucumber up until like 2 minutes ago. What
knows
is
the camera's on.
Charlie's day usually like?
Pretty much the same as Jake's day would go. It's just anything that has to do with bonding or felony apprehension. We try to stick it to this one. But other than that, typical day can go from searching multiple cars, 'cause I do the narcotics for the city, so I do a lot of drug stops, search a lot of vehicles. Anytime anybody needs a track done, they'll call me out and I'll go do the tracks and then go from there with it.
And you all said it's quite unusual for two dogs to work together like this. They get or can get called out and work in tandem with
Yes,
one
ma'am.
another.
So when you think about somebody running, especially somebody who's desperate, sometimes they run for great distances. And one of the biggest issues that we have with dogs is they're like us, they get wore out. They're not a machine, they can't keep going forever. So with that being said, if you've got somebody that runs in the middle of August and it's 100 degrees outside, these dogs are going to get tired. So what we're able to do is with these two dogs, we're able to leapfrog. So this dog's going to track forever. He's going to give me coordinates. I'm going to leapfrog to his area, and we're going to start a second dog while this dog's working. That dog's resting, and we've been very fortunate and very successful doing so.
So how did both of you all get started in this? The dogs lived, they're a 24/7, I guess, partner, as you might say. What sparked your interest in working with canines?
To be honest with you, I like dogs, but I didn't want to own a dog that didn't listen, and so I got my first German Shepherd and immediately reached out, found a really nice local trainer that actually specialized kind of in police work, and started training that dog just to be a nice house dog, and then kind of become infatuated with the training and ended up taking that dog on to be a therapy dog and as well as a tracking dog. And then just got really competitive with it, and it just kind of built one thing led to another, and now we're looking for bad guys.
That's kind of the ultimate. What about you?
So with me, I've mainly done narcotics most of my career and never had a canine. Most of the time it was hard for us to get a canine out to me when I was working. So when I started with Florida Police Department, I got with Jake and was like, hey man, I think I want to get a puppy and try to be a canine. He's like, man, it's harder than you think. Hard to find a dog. I got lucky and got Charlie, and we started training him. I got him at 8 weeks, started training him at 11 weeks, and with 3 weeks in, me and Jake had him finding, methamphetamines, and he was, taking the right path. So it went from there, and we wound up getting him fully certified at 11 months old, which the average dog is 2.5 years old. So he gets certified, he was certified at 11 months old, and from there it's been amazing.
And we'll say, as you all mentioned, the training is very expensive for them.
It's very expensive.
And then they also wear some pretty pricey gear on themselves, don't
Yes,
they?
ma'am. These are Canine Storm vests, and these vests retail somewhere between $3,400 and $3,600.
Okay. Well, as we were talking about before we went on camera, poor Kilo was the victim of a skunk
Unfortunately.
drive-by when he was out for his nightly walk, and so his vest has been it's been fine. But you said you worked
been
pretty
tainted.
hard to get that cleaned off of it. But we're gonna let you guys kind of do. I think Kilo's gonna do a little demonstration for us. So you tell us what you're gonna do.
We'll play dead. We'll do some spinning around, and we'll do some position changes, maybe make them sit pretty. Just whatever sparks our interest.
And I was going to say, the kids, when you go out to the schools, this is the part they love. It endears them, I guess,
sure.
to the dog
For sure.
I love it.
to listen to what you all are saying.
And that's a big part of what we do is trying to teach children that from an early age that we're not a bad guy, and thankfully we live in a really nice community. This area has been really good to law enforcement, but it's not like that way everywhere, and we want the kids to know that what they see in the media may not be what's really out there.
Right.
And so having these dogs allows us to connect with them. Him and I have always done canine demos, and the middle school to high school has always been kind of the bread and butter because they're old enough to understand. Now with these books, we're able to actually connect with the younger group of kids, and they're really fantastic. These dogs, we take them to the county fairs, we take them out, and it's very rare that we take them out and kids don't automatically recognize them.
Yeah,
And that puts a big smile on my face.
And I will say, before you start your demonstration, though, if you see a dog like this, you don't automatically reach out to pet or
Absolutely not.
anything. They are working.
That's exactly right, and that really goes with any dog in public. Most of the dogs that you see in public, if they're not at a park or something, are service animals. Service animals do not need to be petted. They're in training or they're working, and doing so may hinder their job and may cause somebody to get hurt. Or if you think about a police dog, these police dogs are trained to bite people, and hopefully it's the bad guys. But if you rush up on a dog, sometimes you startle them and bad things happen. So we try to teach kids, and that's kind of the topic of Kilo's book is how to address service animals and police dogs, and then Hug a Tree with Charlie and Staying Put, and search areas is kind of what we teach with that book, and it's important to start that early. So.
Okay, good. Okay, well, we'll let Kilo do some work and impress us very much. Now we're ready for a demonstration from Kilo, and we'll take it and hand it over to you.
Sits. Pretty. Off. Pelican. Off. Bang. Here. Pelican. Off. Here. Off. Sits. Pretty.
Now, I will say, I noticed that your commands are not, they're in Dutch. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am,
right?
that's correct.
And that is, I guess I don't know, there's reasons for you all
Absolutely.
training them in a
Absolutely.
different language.
And he's really bilingual. He's been with me for so long that he pretty much knows what I'm asking just by my body language. Dogs are very, very good at reading bodies, and we're very fortunate for that because our inflection and our tone changes every time we say a word. We never say it the same way twice. So he's not just not just listening to my commands, but he's also watching my body language, as well as, every dog does. So,
Yeah. Well, Kilo is very impressive. Anything else he wants to show us today?
You want to spin? Here, spin, 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 unspin, 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 off, bang.
Oh,
Sits.
awesome.
Pretty. Yes.
And this is just some of the fun stuff that
absolutely.
Kilo can do.
Yeah,
He's
this is a fraction of what he does,
very
so.
serious
Yes.
officer with the sheriff's department. Well, I'm going to
Excited.
take this. Yes, he's excited. I want to thank our audience for joining us today, and come back and join us again for more Table Talk.